due to the large size of the ice, and it makes fishing impossible in the winter. And there is a special area for the season that is off for fishing. After the winter, as the temperature gets warmer and the ice started to melt, and the sea recovered again. Every year in the middle of the March, of course, according to the actual situation, and the fishermen are ready for going out to the sea for fishing again. That's why we have this special festival to celebrate the start of the fishing of the year. So it's very important for everyone living here. There are hundreds of years for this area to celebrate this special festival. Today is March the 24th, and this year we have a relatively lower temperature. That's why at a later stage of this year we have this festival. Finally, we have this day. So for the fishermen, they have to wait until this special day in order to go out fishing. And today I would like to take you to this sea festival to experience the culture here. And we can also see the splendid scenery that hundreds of fishing fleets sailing to the sea. And today we have a special guest here. So it is a director for a cultural heritage management office in Panjin City. Say hello to the viewers. Good morning, everyone. I'm Yang Hongqi. So today I would want you to give us a very detailed explanation for this sea festival. Of course, I will let you know about the history, the tradition of this sea festival. And today we have a very interesting event here, and also you can see the bannerman wearing in yellow dress. So why they are wearing in yellow? Actually, it is a tradition. For the successors, they actually inherit the tradition in the past. It's just a tradition. So where this tradition originated from? It is from the mountain area of the Bohai Sea. Liaodong Bay and the Bohai Bay, and some of the tradition are from the Liaodong Bay. So these fishermen bring their own traditions here. So for the sea festival, we have around like 500 years of history. We have a temple here. In 1982, we also found some heritages from Ming Dynasty. And actually the temple is a historic site from the Ming Dynasty. We can see that at that time, the fishery culture already passed from then. And the fishermen started to live in this area. In the future, with the evolution of the coastal line, and we can see the fishermen are migrate into this area. Now we can see some firecrackers, and the canoes is very vivid right now.
这是现场是放起了一个礼炮，是庆祝哈，先向码头的方向走去。
We can see so many people gathering here to celebrate this sea festival.
其实我们这个开海节啊，也
And
叫
now
做
we can
赶
see the
海节，也
team
叫做
is
祭海
marching
节，它
towards
是一
the
种
wharf.
是我们这个开海节啊，也叫做赶
And
海节，也
for
叫做
this
祭海节
sea，
它是寓意着我们一种
festival,
美好的信
actually
仰。
it is also a special festival to pay sacrifice to the Lord of the Sea. It also carries the best wishes from the fishermen. And by using this kind of sea festival, they pray for a safety trip and also a harvest of the new year. Now we can see the team is marching towards the wharf. So what is it? You can see that the group is also carrying some of the sacrifice towards the wharf, including some pigs and also some cereal of China. And when they arrive the wharf, they will throw this kind of sacrifice into the sea for a sacrifice. By doing so, they are praying for a harvest year and also pray for a better life. Also, you were talking about the sea is actually like the soil for the fishermen. People are fishing from the sea, so they're actually sending appreciation for the benevolence from the nature, and using their hard work to celebrate the harvest. We also have a successor of the cultural heritage of the sea festival coming together. Today we have so many fishermen here and also some visitors come here to enjoy this sea festival. We just saw a team of bannermen marching towards the wharf, and I can see in the banner there is a dragon. Can you explain what does that mean for the dragon? So actually we are raising the flag. In the history, we are saying that we are raising the dragon banner. According to the history, so for the fishermen, when they are coming back from the sea, they will put a dragon banner at their home. And also there's a special requirement for the banner. For example, the length of the dragon's head should be 3-inch height. And you can have different color of the banner. But actually each banner represents one team, or what we call one company right now. So when you use this banner in your ship, and then people can recognize what is the team. So you can recognize the fishing fleet by the banner. And on the main stage, you can actually see a specialized banner on the stage. For this banner, you can see that it is following the direction of the wind. Currently, all of these banners are regulated by the government. And according to the tradition, some elder generation, they will help to set the banner. In the past, each shipping fleet, they're responsible for their own banner, but now the government will appoint certain group or people to raise the banner. I understand that when we're raising the flag, we're also picking those like examples, some models to put the banners up. So today we also invited some experienced bannermen to help raising the banner. Currently, you can see that for different sheep, they also have a different kind of banner, but the color is unified. In the past, we may have different color of the banner, but now the color is unified. So today we are inviting those most experienced bannermen to raise the banner. We can see a lot of things happening in the wharf. We are seeing that the shipping fleet is actually sailing towards the sea and starts the fishing season. Let's take a look there. Now we can see that the ships are actually sailing towards the sea, and it also gives us a representation of a harvest year. We can see so many people gathering in the wharf. And also we can see the firecrackers and the drums and the gongs. And also we can see the Yanko group coming here. They're wearing a specialized costume to do the rural folk dance. So the team have some like dancers from Hebei province and the Shandong province. They're also bringing their own traditions to the Panjin city of Liaodong province. You can see so many people are gathering here in the wharf. You can see some people are wearing the northeast style of costume to play the yanko. But you can see in other regions they are wearing different types of costumes. So the background is a little bit noisy right now. Maybe we can talk about the fishery culture right now. Later we can go to the wharf to see other performance and to see the ships. Mr. Yang just told us that the fishery culture has passed over hundreds of years. We are talking about the culture of the ancient fishermen. So for the ancient fishermen, we always talk about the fishing and also the wild goose. So why we have the wild goose? Because at that time we are just like making a metaphor that will compare the fishermen to the wild goose. And at that time we have a book, like a fairy tale of the ancient fishermen. And actually that kind of culture is become a part of the intangible cultural heritage of China. For the culture of ancient fishermen, it's actually originated from Shandong and the Hebei province. But the culture itself is originated from the Erjiegou region of Liaodong Bay. So this kind of culture originated in the past, but now it continued to pass on. Meaning that for the fishermen, like every year, they are like migrating to the fishing area to earn a living. Some of the fishermen, they are leaving their hometown and come to the fishing area to earn a living. Some people using the land transportation, while others using the sea transportation. At the beginning, maybe just a few of the fishermen. Later, more and more fishermen joining them, and all of this group of ancient fishermen came to the Liaodong Bay for fishing. Liaodong Bay is considered as the north coastal line in China. There were 3 rivers here. First one is the Darling River, Liaohe River, and the Grand Liaohe River, meaning that for these rivers they have very abundant aquatic resources. And each year, the area of the bayed area keep expanding by 10 meters each year. As this area have a very abundant aquatic resources, that's why so many fishermen are gathering here for the fishing. So according to statistics, so for the Liaohe River, it has already reached to 1,600 kilometers. Because of the abundant aquatic resources, so this group of fishermen, they're coming from all around China and gather here for fishing. So that's why we compare this group of people to the wild goose, because they are just migrating as the season changes. Some of the fishermen, they are taking boats to come to the fishing area. They're actually sailing to here according to the direction and the drive of the wind. Some of the fishermen, they already make appointments with each other, so they will set off at the same time and then they will arrive in spring. At spring, there is the start of the fishing season, and they can't join this sea festival in time. For those fishermen who arrive later, they will join the other groups later for the fishing. But those people are quite expecting for the sea festival each year. For people who travel by land, it is very difficult to control their time, and we are not sure when they can arrive. So for these fishermen, they came to Liaodong Bay. It is because Liaodong Bay have the best quality of the water resources and also have abundant resources for fresh water. So all of these are contributed to the cultivation and the breeding of the aquatic products. So we can see for the bay, it is rich in fish and shrimps. And also we can see a lot of shells and the clams inside the sea. And the most important thing is that during the breeding season, so for the geographical condition of the Liaodong Bay, it is very conducive for the breeding for the fish and shrimps. we just talked about that for the Liaodong Bay. It is the north coastline. So in winter, actually it easily got frozen. So during winter, it's not very good for fishing. So for the fishermen, they went back to their hometown. Yes. So for the Liaodong Bay, it is only suitable for fishing in spring, summer, and autumn. When it comes to winter, for the fishermen, they will go back to their hometown for a rest. And each year, they will repeat this same activity. And in the early Ming Dynasty, actually, the geography for the Liaodong Bay has some changes. So this place become more suitable for residents. So some people just chose to stay in Liaodong Bay instead of returning to their hometown and wait for the next spring. So we just compare the fishermen to the wild goose, meaning that they are migrating according to the season of the fishing season. But as Liaodong Bay become more suitable for residents, more and more fishermen decided to stay in this area. And today we also see many performers here, and all of these people are wearing localized costumes to celebrate this sea festival. We can see so many fishermen are coming here to celebrate this festival because we know that it is a very important festival for them. And we also see some visitors from other regions to come here to enjoy the sea festival. So we also want to see the fishing boat went out to the sea. And also want to further understand the performance. Because I see a lot of performance here. What are some of the underlying meaning for this performance? So all of these performances are actually organized by the fishermen living in the local area. And we also invite some retired artists to attend this festival, attend this performance. And we also invite one of the most famous and experienced fishermen as the general director for the sea festival. So they also inherit the spirit of the tradition. Now we arrive at the wharf. We can see some of the fishing boats already left the wharf. They are already sailing into the sea. We can also see some fish and the fishing boats here. People are taking photos here. So earlier we just hear the firecrackers and we can see the fishing boats sailing to the sea, which also marks the beginning of the fishing season of the year. Very splendid. For the fishermen, actually it represents another good harvest year for them. So for the fishing boat, when they left the wharf, so how long they will be traveling in the sea? Today, we are just a ceremony. This is what we did in the past. So they just take a round trip and then return back to the wharf. It's just a symbol for this ceremony. And after the day, more and more fishing boats will start sailing for fishing. And they also will observe the timeline for the tide. So for the tide, it follows a 12-hour cycle. So for the tide, it will rise like 2 times per day and also went down 2 times per day. So we will experience 4 tides one day. So when the tide falling down, meaning that the boat will start sailing. When the tide goes up, and then the boat will return. We already see some of the boats returning right now. And I can see those banners very clearly on the boat. So for some of the experienced fishermen, we will say that we raise the banner on the boat, but we will not say hang the banner on the boat. It is a special meaning for the boat. We are not calling the boat sailing boat. We are calling this is a kind of winged boat. When we say follow the wind, it actually meaning that's a smooth journey for the boat. Now we can see some of the boats docking right now. And maybe just a little bit smoggy today. We cannot see that very clearly, but we can see the banner. So when I see the banner, I know the direction of the boat. Makes people understand where the boat is heading. And actually the boat are following a specialized route to coming back to the wharf. So you cannot sail the boat anywhere you want. You have to follow a kind of route to ensure that the safety of the boat. For the upstream, it will also bring in some sand and dirt, and that is not safe for the boat. And according to the tide, there is a specialized designed route for the boat. So maybe by 11, all of these boats will coming back to the wharf. And today we set off the boats earlier compared to the tradition, because in the past we set off these boats at 11. Well, today we have to pay attention to the tide. Because if we see the tide going down, these boats have to return back to the wharf. So every day we have a time differences for the rise and the down of the tide. That's how we decide the time for the set off. So you're saying that when the tide is falling down and then we should set off. Yes. So when the tide is level off, and then you will pull all the fish up and then to start to return them back. And also you have to pay attention to the direction. After you returning back to the wharf, the tide will be level off, and then you will unload the fish and the shrimps. So we have to follow the change of the tide in order to upload and unload the fish and the shrimps. Now you can see that all of these boats are returning back to the wharf. So I really want to see like the scenery that all the boats are setting off. However, we missed the time. But now we can wait for all of these boats coming back. So he just explained to us that we have to pay attention to the change of the tide in order to decide the timing of the sailing route of the boats. Now we can see that this boat is approaching us. Is this a large one? No, it's just a smaller size of the boat. The one with a large banner, actually that one is a larger boat. For the large one, it may have a length of around like 30 meters or more. For this sea festival, actually it carries a lot of like best wishes from the fishermen. For example, people pray for a good harvest of the fishing season. And also this festival shows the appreciation of the nature. For our next generation, they may not fully understand these kind of traditions. If there's no one pass this tradition down to our generations, they will not know about this tradition. So we have to do this kind of demonstration or organize this kind of sea festival to let others better understand what the fishing is like in the past. Currently, not many places have this sea festival. That's why we want to keep this as a tradition for us. Especially for the young generation, it is very necessary for them to better understand this kind of culture. Now we can see the boat is approaching us. It's such a pity that we missed the time to see all the fishing boats setting off, but it must be a very splendid scenery. Now we can see all of these boats coming back to the wharf. So start from today, it is an official start of the fishing season. Yes. So start from today, all the boats can sail into the sea according to the change of the tide. And also according to some of the China's regulation, and in order to better protect the eco-environment of the sea, so from May to August, it should be off-season for season. So start from March, and April, there were 2 months. So these 2 months is the fishing season. So for this fishing season, it is very important for the fishermen because it represents the harvest for the new year. Now we can see one of the boat is coming back with a large banner. So this one should be a large one. So for this kind of boat, so how long it can sail on the sea? So for some of these large size boats, they will go to some remote area for fishing. For example, sometimes they will travel for like almost 1 year. They will travel to other regions. For example, Zhejiang province, Jiangsu province, and most of them will go to Shandong province for fishing. So I understand that some of the elder generation, they don't want their kids to be in the fishery industry because it's a very tough job. But on the other hand, this kind of hard work can bring better life to us. Just imagine when we bring back all of those fish and shrimps, what a beautiful life it is. And we also see the hard work and diligence from the fishermen. In the past, this area called Erjiegou Town, but now we changed the name. It is this area become Erjiegou Community. So, do you feel that the life quality gets better in this area? When I was a small child, even though I can see a lot of shrimps, crabs and fish, but at that time people cannot afford to purchase this seafood. But now we can see that all of this seafood can be sold. In the past, we also got some globefish. Only kids living around the seaside, they will eat globefish. But now, globefish is very popular and a very expensive variety right now. We see another boat is coming back. So they will dock the boat here to unload the fish. And each boat we can see a number. Yes, it is just like an ID number for the fish. And each year we need to do a routine maintenance for the boat. Now you can see many boats are coming back to the wharf. Now you can see the tide is going up. Now we can see many boats are coming back right now. Even though we missed the time that the boats are setting off, but now I can see all the boats are coming back. They are returning right now. This year, the Sea Festival is quite unique. In the past, it only lasts for like 1 day, but start from this year, the Sea Festival lasts for 2 days, today and tomorrow. If anyone is interested in this kind of Sea Festival, please pay a visit to Erjiegou Town, but please be careful. And we can see the fishermen, they're coming back right now. Excuse me, can I ask some questions? So you're coming back? Yes. So how do you feel? Very good. So how long have you been a fisherman? Actually, I have been a fisherman for over 20 years. I feel very excited because the fishing season starts. I'm start to make money right now. Today is the Sea Festival. Are you joining the Sea Festival every year? Yes, I'm pretty much expecting to the Sea Festival. Wish you good luck for the new year. We can see that he's very happy because he feels like he can start making money from today. So for that gentleman, we can see that he's not coming from Erjiegou area. So for people who are coming from Erjiegou, they have a very recognizable local dialect. And also they have a very different type of living habits and customs, quite different from other regions, especially from the language perspective. So for that gentleman, he's not coming from Erjiegou area. For people living from like 8 kilometers or 10 kilometers away from this area, and their accent is a little bit different. Now at the wharf, we can see that so many boats are coming back. It is quite unique because we won't see so many boats docking at the wharf. So some people are still staying here because they still want to enjoy this festival. And we can see that on the other boat, some people are wearing some costumes. They just act some performance earlier on in the opening ceremony of the Sea Festival. So for those group of people, they're actually carrying the sacrifices and the offerings, and they will throw the offerings into the sea. It's a very specialized boat. It carries all the best wishes from the fishermen. So actually, we stopped celebrating the Sea Festival after the foundation of People's Republic of China, but later on, for the local areas, they organize this kind of sea festival on their own because they do not want to forget about the tradition. And after the reform and opening up, the government once again pay attention to this kind of specialized tradition. We want to pass these kind of traditions to the next generations. Want them to understand what their ancestors have been doing in the past. So, are these fishing nets? Yes. We are actually drying the fishing nets here, and you can see some of the nets, maybe they're broken. We will amend this fishing net here. Because here we have the culture of fishery, so some of the women, they can help to amend the fishing net. So for men, they will go out for fishing, and the women, they will help amending the fishing net. They have their own duties. But actually, you can see that for the Yanko team, some of the Yanko team members are actually men. But now, most of the men are sailing into the sea for fishing, and then women will take the role to play the Yanko. So in the past, the Yanko is actually played by men. It is a special kind of Yanko dance. We call it Lao Tan. We are living by the sea. That's how people make a living, on the sea. The sea leaves us abundant resources. With the hard work of the fishermen, they will go out for fishing and make their life much better. And start from today, it is the official start of the fishing season. I really wish all the fishermen can have a safe journey and also can bring fruitful results back to their home and get a better life. And then also wish every one of you enjoy a beautiful spring. Thank you for your watching.